Previously on Retro-nite. Alright, let's go. Let's get over here to Moisty Mire. Alright, so Zeta has said that one of his snapshots named Redline Beetle saw some sort of treasure map over here. And he also says that it's one of the hidden challenges. So let's see what we got here. Okay. So a chimney, a house with a chimney, a few steps away from the house surrounded by a triangle of trees. Okay, I'll try and remember that. So what I need to do in the meantime is get some weapons, because currently I'm unarmed, and that is a very dangerous strategy to do anything unarmed in this, because nobody that sees you will just leave you well enough alone so that you can do these interacting challenges. And I may have been guilty of doing something similar in the past, but unfortunately I was just over it at that point, and I thought, if they're going to do it to me, then I'm going to do it to them. I don't care, okay? The point of the matter is that I'm just over it, and if I'm gonna have to suffer on the interactable challenges, then they are too. That's just the long and short of it. So yeah. Anyway, let's get on with the match at hand, shall we? Let's just keep on going here. Okay, this definitely looks like a house on the path from the house with the triangle of trees, but it didn't have a chimney. That's the thing. Does that house up there have a chimney, or am I going to have to go further down? That's the real question here. Okay, so head on up here like that. Alright. And then climb up here. No, it does not have a chimney. Okay. It has to have a chimney. Otherwise it doesn't count. Okay. So, let's continue on. Let's see if we can find any houses that have a chimney on them. Because that's what it's going to take. Alright. It can't be this little shack, because these shacks do not have chimneys. Although I think I saw something over to my left. Yes, that's it, that's the one. Because I can see the floating ring up there. These floating ring challenges, nowadays they are extremely rare. You see very little of these. But with the hidden treasure challenges that they've been coming out with recently, they're starting to become a little bit more common again. And that's perfectly fine. It's nice to have a returning challenge that's so nostalgic. It just adds to the it just adds to the charm of the OG, to be honest with you. Okay, so this is the old slurp juice. So I don't expect to even get up to 75, to be honest. 75 shield. Because it did have to restore some of my health from fall damage just a minute ago. One of those pathetic old style heavy shotguns. If you can master them, good for you. I cannot. Their firing rate is too slow for me, and I just cannot really get the hang of it, okay? The new heavy shotguns, on the other hand, they are almost like the shotgun equivalent of a sniper rifle. Except a bit faster in the firing rate department. If you don't aim down the sights, it has a bit of a spray. But if you do, then it just becomes a narrow beam of death. Even at like 70 meters or something like that. It's crazy. But the biggest charm for me of the new heavy shotgun is its increased firing rate. I hate slow firing rate weapons with a passion. If it can't fire fast enough for me to eliminate an opponent on its own, then it's useless to me. Because I only use that one weapon until it's out of ammo. Although there have been instances where I have switched the weapon to do a little combo. Like, they suggest that you hit with the pump, then switch to a SMG and spray a little bit with that. And rinse, lather, repeat until the opponent is down. I don't do that. I typically use weapons that are fast enough that I can typically take down an opponent with the weapon on its own. And the more powerful the weapon, the less the firing rate has to be in order to really be effective, as the game already knows. So, like, for assault rifles, I typically prefer a firing rate of 5 and above. For SMGs, the firing rate has to be at least pretty close to 10 and above. Then I am the most lax when it comes to shotguns, with at least 1.3. That is the lowest on a shotgun that I will accept. At least I think, anyway. I know that I had a pretty good record with a Maven Auto. I believe it was called. And it was not as fast as... okay. Hold that thought. I'm going to try and take this guy down, if I can. Oh boy, it's one of these guys. Next round, let's go. As I was saying earlier, I know the Maven Auto had a relatively low firing rate, but yet I was able to take down many opponents with it. And before any of you say anything about me taking opponents down with a Havoc Pump, bear in mind that was the pre-nerfing. The pre-nerf Havoc Pump. Ever since they nerfed headshots on it, I have fallen off of the Havoc Pump train and never gotten back on it. So there's that. Now, I do prefer higher firing rates on shotguns as well, but I'm not quite as strict on them, because shotguns are really powerful at close range, and I am an expert when it comes to learning how to use a shotgun. Like, many of my friends have said that a shotgun will hit for far less than my average shot with a shotgun. But I know a few key problems that could be cropping up for them that I don't have. For one thing, lag could play an issue. I remember back when I was playing on Windstream, back in Chapter 1 and parts of Chapter 2. Sometimes the lag was so severe that you would actually blank your opponent. And that is a particularly dangerous thing to have happen to you. Because if you can't hit your opponent, then you're screwed. But the worst of all is that sometimes it will just suddenly become so god-awful that you will stand still. All you can do is turn. You can't do anything else. You can't build, you can't shoot, you can't do anything. And if you get hit by that type of lag spike, good luck. Because there is absolutely nothing that can save you when an opponent comes after you when you are standing stock still. Like, you will not survive. Guaranteed. Maybe if it let you go, maybe if it improved enough that that you could pull off a decent performance, maybe. But I hated Chapter 1. And the biggest reason for this was because I had a piece of crap internet that I could not switch off of for the entirety of Chapter 1. Because the current internet provider that I have, OAC Fiber, was installed back at the height of the pandemic back in 2020. And that was during, I believe, Chapter 2, Season 2. I remember that in Chapter 2, my situation and thus my opinion of the game had improved. I had started winning solo rounds more often. Like, so here's my thing, okay? Hear me out. In Chapter 1, I have 3 umbrellas from Chapter 1, Season 4, Chapter 1, Season 7, and Chapter 1, Season X. Oh wait, actually, I actually have 4, because I also have Chapter 1, Season 9, because of my awesome friends. Aside from that, aside from those 4, I could not win at all. Not even, not even in, or especially not in a solo match. The only 2 exceptions were, Chapter 1, Season 7, and Chapter 1, Season X. And even then, I was only able to win in Chapter 1, Season 7 once, and, well, twice. And I only won in Chapter 1, Season X once. Every other time was, and just, I just couldn't. So I got that guy. I kind of glossed over it because it's basically a light machine gun against somebody that was standing stock still. What is there to say about it? I mean, besides maybe, what were you thinking? Like, you never, ever stand stock still in the open in Fortnite. I mean, like, I was just ranting about Windstream forcing me to do so. So there's that. Haha! That finishes off the assault rifle mission. So now I can go on ahead and move on with the rest of the round. As you can see, we have only like 2 challenges left in the whole thing. So this crossover event is pretty well coming to an end. I think Zeta Beetle's the only one left to upload parts of this crossover. Yeah, because after the 7th, Chapter 6 Season 3, Chapter 6 Season 3 will be over, and Chapter 6 Season 4 will begin. And with that comes OG Chapter 1 Season 4. So it's pretty well right there with the main season of Chapter 6. For now, anyway. Now, I know I said this earlier. I know I said this last season, but trust me when I say that this time I know what I'm talking about. So, I just have to ask Epic, please in some way, shape, or form, give me the visitor. In some way, shape, or form, I just want the visitor. In the shop, in the battle pass, I don't care. I really want him because he is the only member of the 7 that I do not have. With him, my collection would be complete of the best looking skins in the entire game, in my opinion. Like, they have some really cool high-tech helmets, and they have really colorful armor. They have really colorful armor. Like, 2 of them have had purple armor over the course of their history. So yeah. So I beg you, Epic, please, just one version of the visitor is all I want. After that, I'll have a complete collection. And if there are other variants of the 7 that you throw out, then I'll try and buy them with some V-Bucks whenever I have enough. I just want the visitor for now, okay? Please. Anyway, after all that pleading and begging, I'm gonna go ahead and head on down here. Alright. So, okay. Not entirely sure what I was doing there, but alright. So, come through here. Okay. There's a chest up there. Grab that. Okay. That was a pistol. I'm not interested. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and head on over here. Alright. So, use the zip line here. Okay. Whoops. Alright. I might go ahead and grab that big pot. I sure don't want anyone else getting it. Let's see. Is there somebody over there? Where are they? Okay, I hear a hunting rifle, either that or a bolt action. All I know is that it's some sort of sniper rifle, okay? It sounds like a hunting rifle, to be honest. A bolt action is more of a dull boom than kind of weird sounding bang. You know? Am I making sense? I don't know. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and engage this person, even though they're